Morning, everyone. Let's see, I want to see how our setup is while you are walking through our virtual yoga door. Let me get some things straight. I think that's pretty good. Morning. Morning, Trace. As we all come together this Tuesday morning. Got my chimes. I hope you have something to hydrate yourself with. That would be really important. Harriet, nice to see you. Michael, I'm glad you're here. So I want to give everybody another moment just so that we can all kind of convene here together. Nala's with us somewhere. Hi Nala, you around? I hear you. Oh, you are around. Hi, don't knock my water over. There you go. Hi, morning. You can come say hi really quick, or you're gonna step on the chimes. There you go. Morning, Lori. I'm reading to you all out of a book today for just a little bit of time. Morning, Debbie. Okay, go on. For just a little bit of time, and I want to show you this book. Hi, Andrea. And I recognize that this will be opposite when I show it to you, but it's good enough, I think, for my purposes. So I absolutely love this book. This is the Modern Yoga Bible, and for such a long time, I've always read to you and showed you poses and things like that from the regular Yoga Bible, which has been in print for a really long time. But for the first time, I ordered the new one, and it's got a lot of more updated ideas. Morning, Connie, Marianne, here they come, right? It's always like, it takes a moment, it's 9:30, and here comes the class. Morning, Maudie. So there's something in here that I want to read you because it has sparked for me today a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of us talking about a pose or two of them that we flow into very often and we don't much talk about. So I want us to visit this today and read you a couple places. So this part is wonderful. And so this is called, let me see, you can see it, The Joy of Core. The core is more than just those tummy muscles. Your core muscles include those of the pelvic floor, your back muscles, side waist muscles, and diaphragm. Think of it like a house. You would never build on shaky foundations, so you need to prepare with a strong pelvic floor. You need to build steady walls, belly, side waist, and back, and then a stable roof, diaphragm muscle too. These muscles work together to give you support and the power to move and to help you balance. They keep you safe and injury-free. I want you to hear this part too. Yoga builds strength by supporting your own weight in a static position or by organizing you to hold your body correctly as you move. It's lovely to be self-sufficient with your core unity work. No fancy equipment is needed and you can do it everywhere, or anywhere. But this is what I really want you to hear. It's lovely to be self-sufficient with your core unity work. And one thing I think of, particularly in this class, is like, you know, when we're on our back and we lower our legs so slowly, that's that nice work where you're literally bringing the core together, you're squeezing into the midline, or what we're about to do. And I'm going to show you her pictures here. And you already know this. We do this all the time, but I want you to look at it differently today. Down dog to plank, and you see when you're here, you're really pulling things up. Morning, Alistair. You're really pulling things up. And I just want you to kind of take note of your ability to gather yourself up and pull that tailbone high in down dog, and then lower it and shift. That is so strong. So there's a list of wonderful things that I'd like you to consider doing every day, and that's one of them. And one thing I want to say about my husband, Barry, is that every morning he goes to his garage or the living room or wherever he's going to go first thing, and he has a list, a mental list of like the 10 things he's going to do. like a plank, and he'll do a chaturanga, he'll stretch out his quads, whatever that list is. And I wouldn't call it like an hour yoga practice. I wouldn't even call it a 30-minute yoga practice. I would almost call it more like yoga exercises. But I'm wondering, if I share this information with you, if one of you that we're practicing with here today is going to say, that's me. These are a few of the kinds of things that I need to do each day. Not even committing necessarily to an additional 30-minute practice by yourself, because I know sometimes to practice alone can be daunting or not fun, but really taking 10 minutes and finding a few poses. The ability to go from down dog to plank is one of the ones that I would love you to enter into. That's a really wonderful way to pull everything together first thing in the morning. A few breaths here. Oh, good. Connie said, that's me too. Okay, so Connie does that too, like some yoga exercises, so that on days where, you're not having the instructor that you want with the practice you want, you've got your own routine on other days. I would love that for you. I'd also love you to fill in here what some of the poses are that you enter into every day. And if I had to pick one pose, period, hands down, I'd go with a plank. In fact, I'd go with 2 60-second planks. I started to say 60-minute. 2 60-second planks every day. All right, 1 minute where we tune in to the thing that brings us here, the breath, the thing that differentiates us in health and wellness. Backs of the hands down on the ground. I will be your timekeeper. 2 chimes at the end here. Roll the shoulders maybe up and see how much tension you're carrying, then backwards if you can, and then down. 1 minute, just 1 minute today, tuning into the breath. And we're off. Tune into the breath and the body as we come back together. And I'm hoping this 1 minute of meditation brought you a little peace, brings you connecting to your mat and to one another. I know when my eyes open and I see Connie and Phyllis and Debbie, it's as if you're sitting right across from me. And for this time during pandemic, that's enough. I feel really good about this. So a few more breaths as we take one another in, as we connect, just as we would if we were in a physical space. And we are connecting, and our energy is reaching out and combining. And to stay in the present moment, we gaze around and we take in whatever is around us, sights, smells, touching index fingers to thumbs, and then we reach the hands all the way up and we pull some ropes, because we've been very good about really exploring this side body and taking deeper breaths than usual, very much on purpose here during this time of the pandemic. Really reaching, and I tell you, I used to go way over like this, but that's not really what does it. It's really about straightening that right arm and opening right here. And then you can just feel the rib cage. So I'd like you to take a moment and really exploring, how do you best get in that rib cage? How do you best get in the side body? And do you have a tendency, like most of us, once you get here, to hold the breath? And usually you're holding it on an out, right? On an exhale. And then re-enter into it and see if things aren't getting a little bit smoother and a little bit deeper. And then reach the hands all the way up, interlace them this time, press the palms away from you. Gaze up just over the horizon, straighten the elbows a bit, and then slowly release the hands all the way down. Knuckles go to the ground, crown of the head reaches, inhale. Exhale will fold us forward, and just see what's going on in our forward fold this morning. You keep working with that. I'm going to turn on some nice little soft music to additionally help relax us just a little bit. And then together, we're going to find a child's pose. However you want to make your way to a child's pose, that's where we're headed. So palms and knees, of course. And then the hips go back to the heels. And then play with reaching these arms way out, even a little longer than you'd like. We're going back to the thoughts of the side body and the rib cage. You might join me in a lift, just this little halfway up, and then this big melt. Now, I want to tell you what's going on today, because generally speaking, I don't think we're all that terribly unique. Yes, we're unique people, but in the body, we share so many similarities. The more you crawl your fingers out, I can even hold onto the edge of my mat just a bit and pull my tailbone way away, and I can feel me opening my back significantly in a way that's way different from me watching a movie on the couch last night. And then let's crawl it over to the right and explore there. We're back into the side body again. I'm going to drop the head down and breathe. And although this work has not too dynamic of motions, there's still so much here as far as exploration and beginning to open up and getting the body to trust us, coaxing it into opening up and releasing. We flow right into these cows and cats now. Opening the throat. Taking moments when I stop speaking, or when you find a nice verbal gap, a wonderful place for you to go is a big breath. And in particular, sometimes we don't pay attention on a slow exhalation. See about going there today. And then let's try a little baby plank. Tuck the toes and just take the knees up for just a few inches. Morning, Quinny. Happy to see you, as always. So my knees are floating. I'm going to come into my wrists a little bit more. My body might have been trying to avoid that. Let's stay here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First down dog. Let this one be with bent knees and just nice and easy. And the main thing I'd like you to do here is just let the neck hang out like your head is a pendulum. Just let things go. And then when you're ready with these bent knees, start walking the hands backwards. Let's get the back muscles engaged. Press into the shins, find a half lift. I know right away our hamstrings are speaking to us. And then exhale, come down. I've got these beautiful ohms on. Shake the head, yes, no, and maybe. Bending the knees, we're rolling up. We're trying to coax the body into opening up and relaxing enough that we'll be able to find these strong dynamic poses without strain. Tops of the hands, palms of the hands lift. We're going all the way back to the side body work. Believe me, every time you do this, it's not just that we're opening the side body. This is that 360-degree core, just like we read about, continuing to hold you up. That's not easy. Come back through center. Take the backs of the hands to the low back. Push the pelvis forward just a bit. Draw your shoulder blades together and see about a little bit of a back bend. Mostly opening up your throat here. Mostly opening up the throat. I want you to find yourself completely in a different pose, from unloading the dishwasher, doing the wash, anything that's right here and in front of us. The hands sweep up and we're going straight to a chair pose. You know, you don't need a lot of warm up for a chair pose. You can come here and right away the legs will tell you the familiarity they're going through with this work, right? It's like chair pose. Here we are. Join me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold your way out of it. Let your hands attach to something and let the head just fall down. Shake yes and no. And again, we press the hands into the shins. This is that half lift. And exhale, we lower down. Crawl all the way to your strong, full plank pose with me. And even take the heels back. Consider it a stretch pose. So one thing that's really lucky for me is I know just about everybody whose names I've seen, and everybody here has a practice that includes plank, and I'm so glad for that. So when you're here, make sure while you're hanging out with me, right, that you look and that the shoulders are over the wrists. I'm not back here. It's not down dog. I'm fully in it. My shoulders are working. My chest is working. My biceps are working. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the knees down, touch the big toes together, and press the hips to heels. This is us going back to child's pose. We haven't done the work yet of down dog to plank. We're going to get there. Curl your fingers in and make a fist, and then stretch the hands really long in your child's pose. Grip the mat and walk the hands further in front of you. I want you to get to that deliciousness where you really open the back and give it some room. And then when you do, breathe into it. And then join me in finding your way back to those palms and knees. Find another cow or another cat. And just think to yourself about the spine and all its gifts and all of its mobility here. And then tuck your toes. We're going to down dog. And again, bent knees fine. Don't worry, we haven't done too much for the hamstrings just yet. I'm pressing through all 10 of my fingers. Oh, I just got a nice back pop because I'm the good kind. Because I'm leaving my hands in place and I'm getting out of my shoulders. My arms, I hope, look like diagonal lines. And then let's rise up on the toes a few good times. We'll begin opening the feet. I'm hoping you're getting a couple more snap, crackles, and pops here. And now, press your way back to your strong plank. Toes might need to step back just a bit. And also, tailbone nice and high. That also preserves the back. So I'm not here, right? I'm not like a kind of down dog. I'm staying strong, even though it's very hard work. Now, imagine there is like a balloon tied to your waist, your hips, and these balloons, helium-filled, are going to just pull the tailbone high. Now, go strongly to your down dog. Gaze is between the ankles or even between the knees. And then join me one more time. Find that nice, strong plank. Here, take a big inhale through the nose and a giant exhale through the mouth with a sigh, something that lets go of any tension you're carrying around. And then one more time, go back to down dog. So press away, press, 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 press. Good time for you to check in with your breath. Bend the knees, start walking you backwards. All the way back. Inhale as you find your half lift. Exhale as you lower you down. Reverse your pretty swan dive and come on up. Touch the palms together. Take them back behind you. Let the shoulders, as you interlace your fingers, come up and then pull them down, right? So you're really checking in. Crown of the head lifts, sucking the belly in just a bit. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. Over we go. Let's give the shoulders a nice gift now. Bend the knees and come up. We're going to float back to chair pose. So I want you to get here in a very graceful way with me, where the palms face each other. Inhale, be long. Exhale, we rock it back to the heels. Just working on this flow, this nice, smooth, slow practice that calls upon each and every muscle of the core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way back up. Interlace these palms. Take them back and up. Open up. Now send the pelvis forward. You have a bit of a back bend here. And then swan dive you down. This time let the hands go down the backs of the legs. This forward fold is all about the hamstrings. So I'm dropping my head and my neck. I'm shaking yes and no. And then I'm going to slowly begin to bend one knee at a time. I want to listen to what the hips have to say. I want to see if I can continue to soften the face. And then I'm going to go back to this strong practice we're working with. So first let's go to down dog. And let's just see what we can discover here. Maybe rising high up on the toes and sinking deep in the heels. Press, press, press. And then find your plank. Take a round of inhalations and exhalations here, and then take the hips back to down dog. We're going to do this one a couple more times, but I want you to work with your own breath. You don't have to match me as far as making your way to the next pose. But if you are, I'm shifting to a plank. I'm looking past the end of my mat. I'm keeping my tailbone high. And then even higher as I press my way back to down dog. Take another one with me or stay right here in dog. We'll meet you there. Going to that plank, and I can feel I'm really calling upon that six pack, right? You can just feel it. Now suck the belly in a little bit to the spine. And then nice and slow, send the tailbone high once more. Back to down dog. One inhale through the nose, one good sigh here in your downwards facing dog. And then back to plank. Hold strong with me for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the knees touch down and make your way back to child's pose. Nice and strong. Slowly come all the way up to these knees. And while you're here on the knees, work the shoulders for a moment. And even though you're on your knees, you still have the ability to be nice and long and spacious here. I've got my knees right up and under my hips, and I'm going to sweep my hands all the way up like we've been doing. Inhale, reach, be nice and long. Look, just gaze up over the horizon, and then slowly take the hands, right about to shoulder level, right? And the palms are facing the ground. Now I just want you to feel you for a minute. So if any part of you is sagging or it's here, straighten it all up, and we're going to ask the thighs to take us back. Here we go. Find that nice diagonal line, that nice Z pose. I tend to take my pelvis forward just a touch here, not for a back bend, but just to kind of secure me a little bit. Can you join me here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way forward. Let the hands drop. Find some cows and some cats. And And then from our hands and knees, I want to play with the hips here for just a moment. So make your way into the part of the mat, the middle of the mat that feels good. And then let's take the right foot back and just explore that for a moment. Opportunity to open the hamstring, opportunity to notice if you're kind of putting all the weight in the left palm. We don't want to do that. We want that right leg to have to work here, the core to have to work here. Now bend that right knee and open the hip. So you're kind of taking that right foot out and over to the left. My body always wants to take me over to the side. That would be an absence of core work, but I want to stay as balanced as I can with the isolation effect, or rather me really feeling that right hip really opening so big. Still trying to bear weight in both hands. Now straighten the right leg, right hip still open. Now take the toes and point them down. Now take the right knee down. Find a cow and a cat or a circle or a sigh or a round of breath. Anything that wipes that slate clean. Anything that says to the body, let's go back to the starting position. Left foot kicks out, left toes down to the ground. Now, a couple of things that I've got to do here is sometimes my left heel will lag down here, but I've got the discipline in my mind and my fitness to bring it up and allow me these moments to work really hard. And I can feel I'm leaning over to the right. My body wants to get out of the work. So I'm going to try to stay center here and then bend that left knee and then open the hip. Both sides of the bodies are usually very different. So this side, my body's like, I don't know about this, right? Not going to judge it. I'm not going to condemn it. I'm going to roll my ankle around, spread my toes, maybe straighten the leg, maybe rebend it, maybe continue to work. Ah, there it goes. So you know how your body likes to be sweet-talked. By now you know how your body likes to be coaxed, and we're all in because the benefits of that coaxing are tremendous. Take one more breath here. And then straighten that left leg, hips still open on that left side, right? Now point the toes down. Now lift the heel up just a little bit, stay at work, and then take the left knee down. We erase it with a cow or a cat. Maybe right here you'll hang the head low and take the back of your hand to the skull and really tuck the chin into the chest for a breath. And then tuck the toes. We'll find a downwards facing dog. Rise high up on the toes. Sink so deep in the heels. Press, press, press away. Begin with the left hand. Start walking you backwards. Gather up this core as you walk backwards. Take the two peace fingers around the big toes with bent knees. But then, inhale, half lift. You straighten to the degree that you can. And exhale, you drop the head, you drop the neck, you bend these elbows out to the sides. Let's do it again. Go, hammies, go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, nice and low. Hands take the shins now. Again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, go. Bend these knees, come up. We're going to this beautiful chair pose. We don't need a lot of in-between. We don't need a lot of discussion. Big inhale, reach. Exhale, bend those knees and rock it back. Strong legs for a strong life. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach these hands all the way up. Touch the palms and take them down to heart center. And I ask you, what are you doing here this Tuesday morning at 9:30? Specifically, what brought you to your mat this morning? One big inhale through the nose. One giant exhale. I'm going to go sideways. You don't have to. The peak pose for today is this posture that we were talking about. This ability for us to flow. From dog to plank, from dog to plank. And this is where we'll actually say goodbye to each other, right? So hands are gonna reach all the way up. Inhale, exhale, crawl your way to down dog. And I'm so lucky that I know so many of you here, and I know your practices so well. So I want you just to play with that shift and arrange yourself the way that you need to be, right? So the hands might need to come back further, the feet out a little bit longer, pushing through the heels, and then the hips go so high, and you're going to down dog. Let's do a few of them. Plank. We speed it up just a bit. Look past the end of the mat. Gather everything up. Tailbone starts moving up. Hands are pressing into the mat. Down dog. 2 more. Here comes your strong plank. Back to down dog. Last one. Strong plank. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back to your dog. Let the whole back be in traction for a good moment. Rise high up on the heel, on the toes. Sink it deep in the heels. Press even more through the mat. And I just want you to breathe into the back body. Breathe into all of these muscles that just served you. And then so slowly, last plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set those knees down. And we're going to actually come and sit on the heels. I'm hoping that's accessible to everyone's ankles. I turn off these ohms because I want you to hear yours. So shoulders up, back, down. Hands sweeping all the way out and up, and the palms touching. Reach the fingertips a little bit higher than you were going to. Close down the eyes if that's comfortable for you as the hands go past the mind. The mouth and the thumbs press onto your heart. Maybe our physicality created a heartbeat that's a little faster, working hard to pump blood. Maybe it brought out a little of your yang energy, your fire, your power to seize this beautiful day. And as always, we know that there will never be another class like this again, and so we seal it with an Om. I'm hoping you'll join me. Big inhale. Om. So hope that the light in me reflected back at you at least 1 or 2 of the gifts you brought with you to your mat. This Tuesday morning always starts with you, whether it is after a tornado, whether we are in pandemic, whether it is the sunniest, most beautiful day we've ever encountered, whether it's your birthday or mine or one of the many holidays that we have entered into together. I'm so happy to have this time to practice with you, and I'm hopeful that in the days to come, you'll try what Connie and she said she does this too, a few yoga exercises, a few yoga poses. Doesn't have to be a whole practice. Please let me know how that works for you, and I hope you'll incorporate plank to dog, and back again, maybe a round of 3 times as the week progresses. The next time I see you will be right here tomorrow at 1 o'clock for our slow flow on the JCC Facebook page. This one, the J Connect. Namaste, my dear friends, and shalom, shalom, shalom. I love seeing you. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Connie.